Let's follow up on the challenges for the Liberals in the wake of the Aston by-election now with Jason Wood. He's the Liberal member for the federal Victorian seat of Latrobe, nearby. Not quite adjoining Aston, but nearby. Great to talk to you again, Jason. You've been a long-term representative in your area of Latrobe. You lost the seat for one term and you've won it back. You've held on against the odds time and time again. So you know what's required in mortgage-built classic suburban seats. What went wrong in Aston? Was it the party, the policies, the candidate, or just the times?
Well, Chris, as a Tigers supporter, first of all, I was at the game with Adelaide, so I apologise for bringing that up. But as a long-time Tigers supporter, I never thought I'd see a grand final, and we got there. When it comes to the Aston by-election, number one, I don't think our party, Liberal Party, realised how popular Alan Tudge was on the ground. And what I mean by that, in 2019, we had a swing. He had like a 6 or 7% swing against him, and he had this disgusting, disgraceful personal campaign against him. But even that, when we're going around and hearing back the feedback from people in Aston, he actually did have a very strong profile. He's worked very hard over the years, especially when it comes to sporting clubs in the community. The number one, incumbency does bear a lot of weight when it comes to any campaign. I've obviously used
Sure. Incumbency is important, but what about with the party, with policies, its positioning at the moment nationally and on the ground? What were the mistakes that were made?
I'm getting there. You can't have a campaign where, and can I say, we had a magnificent candidate in Rashina Campbell. The only concern I had from the start wasn't that she wasn't local, and I used to have Bronte and Bayswater in my electorate, and the campaign strategy was to kind of push forward. She was a barrister, counsellor, and I think mother. I used to work at Bronte Police Station, which also used to be, as I said, part of Aston, and I was there as the local. Formerly, my campaign was based on being the local police officer. So Labor ran a very negative campaign against her, very unfairly. Also, the campaign against Peter Dutton was relentless. At the same time, we didn't run a campaign attacking Albanese. And when it came to cuts in road funding, it wasn't specific enough when it came to Wellington Road and other campaign strategies, specific road and rail projects which have been cancelled. Now, I know this pretty well because, as you said, it abuts my electorate in Latrobe, and I used to have it in my area. So the campaign strategy was wrong. The volunteers worked tirelessly. When the campaign strategy was wrong, at the start of the campaign, the campaign federal team didn't think it was going to be a campaign based on an Albo versus Peter Dutton. They thought it'd just be a very local campaign. We had issues too. We didn't have a state director, so needed to run the federal campaign. So it was all these, I suppose, moving parts against the Liberal Party, which just didn't help our cause at all. And also this. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
What are the bigger lessons then? I mean, is there a brand problem for the Liberal Party? Those that are very localised bits of information and they're vital, as you point out, but is there a brand problem for the Liberals? You've got some people saying they've got to go further right, some people saying further left. I would have thought you've got to concentrate on what have been your tried and tested values.
Absolutely, and that's you and I have spoken previously about the character test, and Peter Dutton, Harry, under the policy when it came to character test 501, deported over 7,000 murderers, rapists, sexual offenders, you name it. And Labor has now blocked that in the Senate twice because at the moment it's only based on a person who served 12 months jail rather than the actual crime itself. These are the sort of things and policies we have in place. We need to push forward. Other ones we're looking at in the future, when Peter Dutton raised this before, is a national child sex disclosure scheme. That's something I'm working on at the moment with Karen Andrews to make sure recidivist offenders, as roughly 7% of those recommit crimes, that a person has access to finding out if their child is going and sleeping overnight with a child sex offender. These are the sort of things we need to have in place when it comes to protecting mums with new partners.
What about the voice? Is the voice a fight you need? And can Peter Dutton be the man to lead you back to government?
Yeah, we don't need to fight over the voice. And I heard what you say before. And I was at the start a very strong support. When I say strong, I was very inclined to go and support the voice. I don't think Labor has done itself any favours when it brings out Shaquille O'Neil and others and attacks Peter Dutton and Julian Lesser relentlessly. In saying that, I'm all for a conscience vote, and if we get that in the party room, I'll do a survey of my electorate and hear what they want to say. Peter Dutton is definitely the right person to lead the Liberal Party. There's no talk about leadership change. He's a great guy. We just need to get the public to know him a bit better and get him out and about meeting the people.